I'm really excited. Hello, everybody. I'm super excited about today because it's a begonia. Hello, I'm Terra Gaynes. Welcome to Plant Amateur. Today, we're going to be working with a begonia, and not just any begonia, but the begonia that I brought back from death. Short history before I show you, okay? I brought her home as a little cutting off of Facebook Marketplace, and I put her in a cabinet, and it just wanted to melt. And so then I put it in my begonia fish tank, where it proceeded to continue to want to melt. And then I took it out, and I put it in a little cup, and then I put the same cup on top of that cup, and then I put it in my cabinet, different cabinet, and then it started growing and growing and growing and growing and growing. And now, I know it's probably not the biggest thing, but that is Begonia Sarawak. I'm hoping that you can tell just by this small demonstration that she is iridescent. She's so gorgeous. I've propagated her a few times now, and she's giving me flowers. Look at that. So I have the code on one begonia. That's not bad. Only 1,900 more to go. But she lives in a non-drainage house. There is a pond base and then a soil top. And we're gonna replicate that inside of this cheap little Tupperware container. And then I have this also cheap dome cover that I got at a poke restaurant. Very utilitarian. It doesn't fit, it doesn't close, so I'll put like a cute little bow on it or something to try to dress it up. I thought I could get away with the green. What do you think? A little tacky? Whatever. But let's do it. First things first, we gotta get the begonia out of its container. I'm kind of scared about this, but it's gonna be okay. You can do it. I'm just gonna skip the rough stuff. I'm just gonna do it, okay? Here we go. I don't wanna touch the leaves again, now that my hands are filthy, but look at those little tiny roots. Can you see them? Is it focusing? Please focus. But they're very tiny. It's a very much a creeper plant. Very much a creeper. And not in like the kind at a gross bar kind of way. First thing I'm gonna do is create a base layer in this pot. And I want this pot's base layer to be leca, and, well, I want the base layer to be primarily of pond, but there's gonna be some leca in it as well, and that's totally fine. It just needs to have a way for water to get away from the plant. That's what we're trying to do here. We're trying to give the plant space away from water. We totally do not want it sitting in water. That's a big fat no-no. The pond, the stones in the pond are good because they give it like its regular environment, right? Like these guys usually grow on rocks and cliffs and things. As far as I know, it is. So I want to make this soily, is that a real word? Soily? But I also want to make it pretty rocky. Sarawak comes from Borneo. It is one of what I think is 80 other species just in that area. There's begonias throughout Asia, but these guys are located in Borneo. It's the only place that they grow. And my living room. I don't have too much other research on them because there really isn't very much. Pretty specific species in a huge family. There's I think over 2,000 different begonia species. I am a member of the American Begonia Society. This is how serious I am about the begonia code. I want to learn the begonia code. I need help. I want people to help me with the begonia code. So I gotta pin this guy so it stays within the parameters that we have created for it. So I'm gonna back up a little bit because my soil was not pre-moistened. So it's being a little bit of a butt to work with. I wanna kind of rinse off where I got some dirt on these guys. Now, before you freak out, I'm absolutely gonna dry this off. I'm gonna get a fan and I'm gonna dry the leaves off because they do not wanna be wet on the top or the bottom. Just regular, ooh, I should get my little shovel. Little shovel. It's very important that you know that about these plants, that they do not want their leaves to be wet. In my personal experience, do not wet the leaves. There is no misting going on around here. No misting. It is very important to know that because as soon as your begonia starts melting, you're gonna be super sad. And you're like, what did I do? I just followed the directions. Don't mist your begonias. I bet you, I'm gonna find a begonia lover who's like, I miss my begonias every day. Well, that doesn't work at my house. What works in everybody's house might not work in yours. Be prepared for that science project when you get going with your plants, whether it's begonias or philodendrons. Uh-oh. Oh, I broke a leaf. Do you know what that means? I might be able to propagate that. All right, so we are all moistened in. And then I have this little metal piece right here. It's just a little metal round that I made out of a paper clip or some other metal piece that I have. And I'm just gonna turn this branch so it will continue to grow in the direction of the open space. There's another branch right here that I'll have to do something like that again in the future. But for right now, that is very fine. Oh, so this guy has to go into my cabinet and in front of the fan to dry out the top. All of these leaves need to be dry before it can go under a humidity dome and then back into its regular place in my cabinet. That's her. That's Begonia Sarawak. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I'm just gonna clean it up and get it ready. I might put a nice little water layer on the bottom just to get the ball running on her. They do appreciate a moist environment, right? So having that water far below the roots will be a good help. I'm gonna get this baby dried up and then I will be able to give you an update in probably in a few weeks. They're pretty quick to let you know. Begonias let you know. It makes me so happy that there's so much more space for her. I know that doesn't seem like so much more space, but I think she's gonna take it over in no time, which is amazing. I can just propagate her again. It's really fun. I'm excited. But thank you for joining me today. I am Terra Gaynes. This is Plant Amateur. If you have any comments or feedback, please tell me your begonia secrets. Do the YouTube thing. Enjoy yourself, and we're rooting for you.